Good morning and welcome to the CSI CSR Focus show. Now you will always also find this Focus edition in all three our papers, and it's the Corporate Social Investment, Corporate Social Responsibility Focus edition. Like I said, you will find it in our three papers today as well. And next to me I have Ilani Smith. She's the NMA's journalist and she was also the editor for this Focus edition, which you will find in our papers today.
Morning,
well,
Gabri.
Good morning, Ilani. Now, the question I want to ask you is, what are some of the highlights for you in this CSI publication?
Well, I have to say, I think one of the main highlights for me is the design that we did. I have to say thanks to Monique, our designer, because it is especially well done and it just attracts readers, I will say. And then the other thing I think is like the variety of sectors that we managed to include, like the tourism, agriculture, economics, aviation, health. So there's so many different things that we looked at. And we also focused on so many different angles of these stories. What opportunities there are in these sectors to still go further into. We looked at how these sectors has grown over the years, what challenges they still face. Yes. So I think there's so much we looked into these
very, very good stories, and I know the tourism story because everybody wants to know what's going on in the tourism sector. So what's going on in the tourism sector? You can tell us more as a journalist.
Yeah, so this is we did a very introspective story into that sector. And we delved into this from independence, how the sector has grown, and we can see first from independence there wasn't major development, and then it managed to grow into one of the biggest sectors contributing to our economy. Then COVID happened and there was a sudden collapse, but it has managed to recover very good. There is recovery, occupations are picking up. We don't have the final numbers for last year for tourist arrivals, but by October 2022, it was already at 190,000.
Picking up, yeah.
Yeah, already better than the previous year. So we see a certain recovery, and what we have also learned is that there is of what the tourism industry has indicated, that they have so many lessons that they have learned from this pandemic that they have now implemented.
It was a sad story
in the recommendation
COVID. Very sad. Oh.
So yeah, a lot of lessons learned from that.
And what story stood out for you?
For me, I would personally say the health sector.
Oh, yes.
What we see there is that we got a lot of good infrastructure that from independence, but we didn't manage to look after that sector. The infrastructure, it's just dilapidated very much, and we haven't also been able.
The hospitals are falling apart.
Yeah, and we haven't also really built much infrastructure ourselves.
Four hospitals.
Yeah, 4 hospitals since independence that was built. Not much clinics, so that was very striking.
Over 33 years.
Yeah, that was very striking to me. That.
But we must also tell the truth.
Yeah, so that was a very shocking story for me that we only did that.
So together with a beautiful story, the tourism story, we also have to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yes. Then another question I wanted to ask you is no, there isn't another question that I want to ask you. You can just elaborate. Sorry.
Well, I think I must just say, talk a little bit about corporate social responsibility also and media coverage about it. I think it's very important for us as media to also cover something about, or the importance about corporate social responsibility, because there's companies that send us a lot of stuff always about this, and in the main media we don't always get this or are able to
stories.
Yeah, or are able to cover it because it gets lost in other very breaking news stories. So it's important for the supplement and for such a supplement to give coverage to these projects and also these good news stories that companies are doing, because like over the last few years there has been a more important approach put on. Companies must be involved in putting back to the communities.
But it's like some of the countries don't want to brag about it. They keep it to themselves.
But also like you get companies that give you this information, but you can't always place it in the media. But so I think that it's important for the media to give coverage to this.
But that's why there's a special focus edition where we give them the platform too, to give us the information so that we can publish the stories. But next we're going to watch a video, an interview that our NMH journalist Yolanda Nell had the privilege to interview Dr. Sam Nyoma, Samuel Shafishuna Daniel Nyoma, from cattle herder to statesman. So let's go watch that interview.
Namibia is celebrating 33 years of independence. Previously known as Southwest Africa, Namibia was proclaimed a German protectorate by Otto von Bismarck in 1884. The conquest of German Southwest Africa by South African forces during the First World War resulted in its subsequent administration by South Africa under a 1920 League of Nations mandate. On 19 April 1960, the SWAPO Party was formed as a liberation movement. In 1966, the People's Liberation Army of Namibia, SWAPO's military wing, waged a guerrilla struggle that effectively culminated in South African forces capitulating to end its illegal occupation of Namibia in 1988, in accordance with the United Nations Peace Plan for the entire region. In 1989, the implementation of the United Nations Resolution 435 calling for free and fair elections under the supervision of UNTAC resulted in SWAPO coming to power after 106 years of colonialism and a protracted struggle for national liberation. Namibia attained its independence on the 21st of March 1990, with Dr. Sam Nyoma becoming the founding president of an independent and sovereign state, the Republic of Namibia. President Nyoma stepped down in 2005 after serving 3 terms. We have the honor and privilege to sit down with Dr. Nyoma and talk about his vision and dream for Namibia. He tells us about the struggle, living in exile, and becoming the president.
Next in studio we have Marlies Horn. Now she is the Group Executive Brand and Corporate Affairs at the Capricorn Group. Welcome, Marlies.
Good morning, Lomari, and thanks for inviting us.
Yes, it's good to have you here in studio.
Marlies,
the first question that I want to ask you is, what is Capricorn Foundation and what is its mandate?
Lomari, we established the foundation in 2020. Just before the COVID pandemic hit, as Capricorn Group's vehicle for its CSR. But as a group, we've been involved in CSR since 2000, when Bank Windhoek established its social investment fund. But as a group, we decided to consolidate, and so Bank Windhoek is a key funder of the foundation, as well as our other subsidiaries, Capricorn Asset Management and Entrepo. So through the Capricorn Foundation, we invest in projects across Namibia on behalf of our group and our subsidiaries.
Okay, the next question that I want to ask you, Marlies, what are some of the notable successes of the foundation?
Last year we launched our own signature project. It was called the Capricorn Foundation Food Waste Challenge.
Oh, I
And
remember.
NMH was also our strategic media partner. And our objective really was to use social innovation, open innovation as a platform to address the issue of food waste,
Yes.
because food insecurity is a massive problem in Namibia. And we managed to create a lot of awareness around the issue of food waste. And I'm very excited about phase 2 that we will actually be launching in April this year around social entrepreneurship to address the issue of food waste.
Yeah, because there's a lot of food going to waste, and it's very, very sad if you see all these people who don't have something to eat.
Yeah.
It's sad. So yes, I also wanted to take part, but I couldn't. Okay, how do you identify the beneficiaries of your corporate social responsibilities?
Yeah, Lomari, we get a lot of requests and applications, and how we assess it really is, is it in line with our focus areas? We've got primary and secondary focus areas with economic advancement, which is about job creation, and education being our primary focus areas. But we also have a number of vulnerability programs that we support, and then also we look at health, but from a slightly different angle, where we want to look at mental health.
Okay, yes.
So we look at, does it fit in our primary or secondary focus areas? We look at the track record of the project or the organization that is applying. What impact are they making in the community? Is it aligned to the sustainable development goals? And also, is it in support of the Harambee Prosperity Plan? Because, in the Harambee social pillar, there are a number of focus areas, amongst others, early childhood development. So for us, early childhood development is also a key focus. So there's a number of factors that we consider when we look at...
I know early child development is very close to our CEO's heart.
Yes,
I know that for sure.
In fact, the Capricorn Foundation is also a funding partner of the Africa Child Development Trust that NMH established.
Yes.
So that is one of our big projects.
Yeah, no, thank you very, very, very much, Capricorn Group. Now, Marlies, tell me, why is it important for big corporates like yourself to be involved in corporate social responsibility activities?
If you work in a big organization like the Capricorn Group, you make profit, and as a result of that profit, it enables us to give back. We only exist because of our customers.
Yes, yes.
And through them using our products and services, we are enabled to generate the profit. And being a responsible corporate citizen means that you give some of it back to the communities.
Yes.
Not necessarily your customers, but the community that needs support and guidance. So for us, it's really about doing the right thing.
Yes. And we all know if you give, you will receive.
Yes.
Well, how do you identify the beneficiaries of your corporate social responsibilities or responsibility?
Like I mentioned, we look at a number of factors, but we also want to ensure that there's collaboration. So, if we get 10 requests for early childhood development, we would look at the projects that make the biggest impact, to the largest group of children in concentrated areas. And we encourage our beneficiaries to also, or applicants, to work together, because sometimes we see that a lot of people are trying to do something on their own, but they're not collaborating. So we really encourage our beneficiaries to also work together.
Yeah, to make contact with you and
Yeah.
work together, because you can't do it on your own. You need help. Like like anything in life, you can't do it on your own.
Yeah.
Reach out and ask for help, and you will receive help.
Yeah.
Don't try to do it on your own.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to add?
Lumaria, I think, yeah, for the Capricorn Foundation, it's really about being connectors of positive change, and we have a very strong focus on our employees being change makers. So we have approximately 6 outreach programs per year where we take our employees out into the communities, and not only in Windhoek, you know, across the country, and we allow them during office hours to contribute in some other form to the community. So it's really a big part of our internal brand pride for our employees to be part.
That's where you actually see what's going on in the country. If you go to the small towns and the villages in the north, south, west, you don't know what's going on in the country if you just sit here in Windhoek.
Yeah.
You must travel and reach out to the community all over Namibia. Marlies, I think that is that. Is there anything else that you want to share with us?
No, just thanks for the opportunity, and like Ilani said, you know, it's important for the media to give exposure to these good stories.
Yes.
There's a lot of issues that Namibia face, but you know, let's also try and be positive, focus on the good things that are happening.
Exactly, because there happened a lot of bad during COVID, and so let's focus on the beautiful things. That makes your heart, it gives you that warm feeling. That makes you feel good. And there's still a lot of stories out there that don't reach us. But yes, I want to thank you for coming into the studio. We really, really, really appreciate it, and for all the good work that you're doing.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and then we will be back. Welcome back, and next to me I have Justina, my colleague.
Hello, Marie.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Justina, tell me, what did you enjoy the most about you? You were the project coordinator for the CSI CSR Focus.
Yes.
What did you enjoy the most working on this focus or this project?
Hello, Marie. I must say it was very exciting to see and know what the companies are up to out there. Looking at this year's theme for the Focus edition, which was how companies are doing post-COVID and what are they giving out there. So we had quite a number of clients on board, and I'm just going to highlight some of our clients that advertised in this Focus edition, starting with B2 Gold, that is responsible for the mining, or that is responsible for giving out in the mining sector. So their CSI program is focusing mostly on their health, on their education, on the livelihood, as well as the environment. So they have a nice story where they tell us what they are doing in the schools, some development program which they did in Ochivarongo, at the kayak. I've also highlighted here that their total expenditure for 2022 amounted to 18.7 million, which they spent just in the CSI
Wow, thank you,
Focus.
B2Gold. Thank you very much.
They are doing so much. They are building schools. They are handing over education,
really doing a
information.
lot.
They are really doing a lot.
Yes.
And we have a beautiful advert from them as well that is saying, gold is in the people. People are the gold.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Atushe vamwe, meaning we are one. We are all in this together, giving back to the country.
Atushe vamwe.
Yeah, atushe vamwe, meaning
Vamwe.
we are all as
We
one.
are one.
Yeah. It's actually a good thing
It's
that
a
they are doing.
beautiful slogan.
Yeah.
Atushe vamwe. We are one.
And then we go to the First Rand Foundation. They're saying we do what matters, or they do what matters. They have spent over 85 million in doing CSI throughout Namibia.
Wow.
85 million. And they have programs which they have touched on.
The photos are
yeah,
there.
the skills
everything,
and capacity development, where they gave, or where they gave people training at the African Leadership Institute of Namibia, amounted to 375,000. They are also involved in the environmental guardianship, the arts and the culture, community development. I see here they are also involved in the Sheikh Dwellers Foundation, with partners that also comes on board. We have your sports development here. They have built the Karate Home development, as well as the Namibia Cycling Foundation, as well as employee support programs, you know, like your Cancer Day, World AIDS Day. They are much more involved in those things. So it was actually good to hear from the corporates, to see what they're doing out there, to see that we are all pulling together in one direction.
Because people don't know what all these companies are doing.
Yes.
They think they're just making money, but look what they are investing, giving out into the. They're giving back, and I see their slogan is, First Rand Foundation does what matters.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, and they are continuing to invest in the country to impact lives, as well as over 1 million Namibians. So they are going to make sure that they go over those Namibians.
So on behalf of all the people that benefited from First Rand, we want to thank First Rand.
We also want to thank all our clients that have reached out to us to tell their story, to advertise, to show their brands out there. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Very, very much, because without you, there won't be a Focus edition.
Yes. Yeah, and if you would like to know more of all our other Focus editions, you can always drop us an email at focuseditions@synergy.com.na. I mean, we have the Working Nations that is coming up now.
Yes.
In May or April, if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on our Facebook pages, because we have much exciting stuff coming up for you.
Yes, and further on, you must have a blessed Tuesday. We will see you in our next Focus show, which will be Working Nation.
Yes. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.